Hello again. So, you want to know what to buy for your first bike and for your first gear, and what are the best choices for you? Well, you came just to the right place, and I will give you all the information you need to make a sound choice. This episode will be about gear, so let's ride in. Hello, my brothers. If you just decided to start riding and you need some gear, or you want to renew the riding gear you bought when you were 16 years old, or you got your gear from your grandpa who rode on bikes from the 50s when they just came out, well, welcome to the 21st century. Motorcycle technology and protective gear made of the latest and finest technological materials that are tested in the most harsh conditions and worst crash scenarios. Our bodies are created fragile. It's hard to withstand a lot, especially our extremities. But one part is not actually made for taking any stress or any outside stress factors, and that's your head. That's why we have to protect our head the most. Therefore, the helmet is obligatory in almost every country in the world as a minimum safety requirement for all bikers. In my opinion, and what I will always advocate, is to wear a full face helmet, which also includes like adventure and dual sports helmets. Of course, you also may have modular helmets which can be opened. You have off-road helmets, you have open face, you have half face, and then of course you have the ones that look like a jockey hat, or what all German soldiers from WW2 used to wear, which are in my opinion a joke. It's just silly. Doesn't protect you, doesn't give you any safety. I don't know why would anybody put a helmet like that on his head. You might as well put an old night dish on your, the old night dish. You might just put it on your head, but well, to each its own. Anyway, when choosing a helmet, don't buy online. You have to put it on your head and make sure it's comfortable but snug. It shouldn't be moving around and without any movement, around your head. So it should make your cheeks make a duck face, like when taking a selfie. Anyway, don't forget that after a while, these pads in the inside, they are going to form to your face and to your head, and they will loosen up a little bit. So I recommend the helmet with a sun visor inside, so you don't have to keep changing the visor whenever you ride at night or in a bad weather with low visibility. You have to know that expensive does not mean better or safer. A more expensive helmet may bring more comfortable pads or better sound isolation, but as safety goes, even cheaper helmets will perform as good as any other expensive one in an accident. That being said, don't buy cheap Chinese copies. No. You have to check that the helmet is made at least to the safety standard ECE 2205, while the DOT certification doesn't mean that much and every helmet can get it. That's just my advice and my opinion. We'll go a little bit deeper in this issue in some other time. Anyway, so my recommendation regarding safety standards is to check if the helmet you want has been tested by the independent organizations Sharp and or Snell. Any helmet that gets 4 or 5 stars from these organizations is guaranteed to give you the best protection in a case of an accident, regardless of its price. That's just a fact. You will find, for example, MT helmets that cost about $150 with 4 Sharp stars, as well as a Shoei helmet that costs $500. So the price does not equal safety or protection. You can find a $300 or $400 helmet that has a little bit less, maybe 3 stars or 2 stars, and a helmet that is about $100 or $150 has 4 stars, sometimes even 5. So look for the safety standard as the main guide for buying helmets. Safety standard before all. The next item in your gear should be the gloves. And the options are vast. I mean, from textile with almost no special protection all the way to racing leather gloves with protection on the knuckles and on all other joints. Some are made for summer, some are made for winter, some are waterproof, etc. So whatever you choose, I recommend that you have knuckle protection, that you have the pinky finger stitched to the ring finger to prevent finger dislocation, and to have a sliding protection at the corner of the palm. Okay, so the next item would be the jacket. Jackets are either leather or textile. Leather is better for sport bikes, but it's a bad choice if it rains or if it's summertime, because you will be sweating like a pig. A better option is the textile. This one is textile, for example. Especially since the modern textile jackets could be waterproof for the rain and perforated with mesh for that cool breeze in summer days. But still, they are so resilient in a case of an accident or a fall that you will not regret buying anything other than leather. That you will not regret not buying leather. So no matter what jacket you buy, make sure it has protective inserts at the elbows, at the shoulders, and at the back, especially since most of them don't have a proper back protection, a stock that comes with the jacket, and you will probably need to buy it separately. So check for that. Even expensive jackets don't come with back protectors. Some do, but most of them don't. So these protective inserts have one of two protection levels. Level 1 is the most used standard and is good enough for most cases. However, I would strongly recommend upgrading to level 2 protection pads, even for the back. It's just a small price to pay for the additional protection. And you should always be using the best protection available, right? So, trousers and pants are the same as the jackets. Leather or mesh or textile, you have them in all kinds. But they have the protection on the knees and on the hips. Hip protection is not that common in all pants. You will find pockets for the pads, but not every trouser have a hip pad. So you should buy it separately if your trousers don't have them. So the next item would be the boots. Boots also come in all shapes and sizes with different uses. My advice, never get a boot that doesn't have protection on the ankle joint. Why? Because everybody drops his bike at some point of time. Even when just riding or just sitting on it with the engine turned off. You can just move, you forget to put your stand down, something, you drop your bike and you find your bike on your leg. And you certainly don't want that heavy metal pushing on your ankle while you are trying to get out from under it. Of course, the heel and toes protection is a given. Not everything you buy in a motor shop is motorcycle gear, and that's mostly directed towards Harley Davidson. They sell leather jacket, leather pants, but it's just a fashion leather jacket with no pads, with no pockets for pads. That's not motorcycle gear. Make sure your gear has protective pads and at least have inside pockets for the pads to be bought separately if they don't have it as a stock. My recommendation regarding the boots is getting a longer boot that goes at least to the middle of your shins. A leather boot it's recommended that you get it with a Gore-Tex waterproof membrane. It's wet and will get cold if you don't have some waterproof protection. The boots should never use laces because they get entangled in the brake foot pad or the gear shifter or whatever, and then you got a really bad day. You can't put your foot down when you stop and you will drop your bike in a second. Boots with any other mechanism of closing, Velcro or whatever. Laces, no, forget about it. Okay, there are some other pieces of gear to get, but they are not that essential, and you can get them eventually, maybe later, but you can buy them when you start buying your gear. It's up to you. So you can get, for example, you can get a baklava for under the helmet and a neck gaiter, for cold wind or whatever. You can get motorcycle underwear, full underwear that goes under your pants, under your normal jacket. It's a special motorcycle underwear. It will provide you warmth. It's really comfortable actually. So that's it for this time. So my friends, if you have found value in this video, please hit the like button and that small red button that says subscribe if you haven't already, and go watch my other videos. I will go in details on how to choose your gear, your bikes, and everything related to riding, especially in these years of our peak in life. And remember, we were born to ride, but we were forced to drive.